Gravitic technology has been back engineered by Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin apparently is in possession of a Tic-Tac UFO, and that the Tic-Tac UFO that you are seeing all over the news outlets actually belongs to Lockheed. So, interesting. Ross Coulthart makes a huge claim, and he sounds pretty confident that this is the case, and apparently has been rumored to be the case for quite some time. And Ross Coulthart is just reassuring that that is what's going on. Here's the interview on Need to Know podcast, and I hope you enjoy.
I now know categorically that the Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin technology.
Okay.
The Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin technology. Why are we being lied to? This is the issue. Why is the United States government now participating at White House executive level in collusion with the national security state to keep secret the fact that they've made these advances? I suspect it's because they've realized that they're being overtaken by their foreign adversaries, and they don't want you to know that.
Okay, the Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin. Well, in some respects, given how insane the Tic-Tac behaved during the Nimitz, where it went from 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second, then I would say, well, there's one for the U.S. team that obviously we have some good stuff out there, if that's the case, right?
Yes, but how much of that is being shared with the actual Defense Department that's responsible for the defense of the United States? This is the kind of questions that Congress should be asking.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying Lockheed Martin might, or anybody, but Lockheed Martin in this particular case, has a Tic-Tac that they are testing and have been testing and have access to, but they might not have shared it with the Defense Department of the United States, which probably paid for it in their trillion-dollar budgets. That's kind of mind-blowing in itself.
Those are the questions I think Congress should be asking. I mean, what I'm saying basically is...
Why are you saying this, by the way? Where is this from? How do we know this? What's going on?
I'm sorry, Bryce, I can't go there. But what I'm telling you is I'm increasingly thinking that we're not looking at the right issue. The issue isn't, there NHI? There is, absolutely there is, and the US knows that, full-blown, beyond any shadow of a doubt. And they know that they're trying to develop technology from that NHI tech, and it's been a secret now for 80, 90 years that they've desperately tried to keep using intimidation, threats, murder, and it's failed. It's slowly starting to creak open. I think there's been a complacency here, just like there was a complacency prior to 9/11. And the genuine scientific concern is that we are being overtaken by our adversaries. We do not have much time. We are sleepwalking into a confrontation with China in the apparent belief that it will be a conventional war. What if, when China invades Taiwan, which will happen, what if the first thing they do is put stealth drones on every single American military installation on the planet and take out every single plane before it's been able to get up in the air? That's the implications of this kind of technology. You have an admission from two senior generals of NORAD that is the capability represented by this foreign adversary threat. Now, that foreign adversary is either NHI or Chinese or Russian. It can't be anyone else. I hope it's the NHI, frankly.
Well, okay. So many things on the table from this. So that means we're going to have a great new episode coming up after it. But is it possible that it's not exactly the way it looks, where if China's and Russia and the United States have been in this ongoing race to develop anomalous, exotic technology, that they don't plan necessarily to use it on each other, but they've been developing it because we're all aware of NHI and we're potentially scared of it? Is this a defensive
I don't
kind
know.
of thing, potentially?
I've certainly nobody's suggested that to me. You know what we're all thinking? We all like to think that governments know what they're doing. They honestly don't. They're only there for, in the case of the US president, for 4 years. And so for the first 2 years of his term, he's desperately trying to shore up his popularity for the midterms. So it's largely all about economic success and prosperity. And the other major issue is national security. And Trump's trying to tick the boxes on that. Meanwhile, think of the implications here. I think the 60 Minutes story featuring General Gregory Guilleau and General Glenn Van Herk will go down as one of the most important admissions ever made by an arm of the US military, that they are effectively powerless against objects called drones, which have been breaching the airspace over some of the United States' most sensitive military installations. In the event of a conflict, that will be remembered, I think, as a seminal moment when the military tried to sound the alarm. Because I'm told there are people in the military and the intelligence community who want you to know this stuff, but that the political side, the executive arms of government, don't want to admit this fundamental weakness. I mean, look around the United States. Your roads are crumbling. Your bridges are falling into the water on occasion. Basic infrastructure isn't being repaired. An enormous amount of money is being put into national security and defense. You, the American public, are entitled to know where the hell that money's going. Congress is failing you. It is lying to you about what it knows. Senior Congress people and senators have been briefed about the legacy UAP program. The intelligence and defense community is trying to paper up the cracks in the lies that it has told. And the dilemma for the national security state and for the executive arm of government is, how do they begin to tell you the truth when they've realized that our potential foreign adversaries have stolen the lead? That's the story.
That is a great story, but here's another story for you. It is entirely possible that less than 2 years ago, when the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, was being debated, and you and I had, frankly, the only major row that you and I have ever had, which was over eminent domain. And
I'll tell you what, the one thing about what Ross Coulthart said in this video that really freaked me out is the possibility that Lockheed Martin isn't sharing this information to the Department of Defense to help defend the American people in case something ever happens, right? And why would that even be the case? He's saying that, so I'm assuming that he's saying that because he's heard something like that may be happening, that information or that tech isn't getting shared to the other side. I don't like that. So you guys let me know what you think down below, but that part kind of freaked me out a bit. Who knows? Jesse Michaels just dropped a tweet earlier today asking as if what you just heard Ross Coulthart say, if anybody has any proof of anything about that particular subject, Lockheed Martin and the Tic-Tac UFO. So Jesse Michaels looks as though he's currently on the hunt for some information on this. And so this is a crazy one, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. To leave some comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.